Hi crochet friends, this is Patty from Northeast Indiana. I put this little meme on here thinking we just get a chuckle over it, but I'm watching the discussion going back and forth, and so I thought maybe this would help. I know a lot of you are real experienced at this, much more than I am, and what you've explained makes perfect sense. But I did have somebody respond and ask me to explain what I meant. So I tried to do that, and I started typing, and I thought, it's too hard. I'm going to show you what I do. And it works about 9 out of 10 times. Once in a while, you'll get a skein of yarn that is maybe the way it was processed in the factory. I've had one where the beginning and the end of the skein were tied together in the middle. But usually this will work for you, or it'll get you closer to what you're looking to do. So, and I've balled things up before too when I've gotten it really messed up. I've done that. But this saves a lot of time if you don't have to go through balling. So what you do is you've got your skein of yarn and you look at both ends. Okay, there's one end, there's the other. So on this end, you can clearly see there's a strand of yarn going into the center from the outside. It's tucked under the label. It just sort of, you can see that it looks different. Okay, I'm going to pull on that. Okay, that's the end of my skein. That's the very end. So I'm not going to crochet from this. I'm just going to kind of get it out of the way. The reason I get it out of the way is because in the middle, it can get twisted around your starting strand, and that's when you run into issues. Okay, so I try to remove it from the seam. So I'm going to flip it this way now. The opposite end, I'm going to reach in, and with a couple fingers, I'm going to try and pull out the center. Now, what usually happens for me, I'm not usually lucky enough to find the end just by reaching in. You might be able to see it, but if you can, your eyes are better than mine. So I'm just going to pull in. I'm going to pull out a chunk. And don't be scared. It's okay. All right, so I've got my chunk. Now, it doesn't look like the picture above, and it's not, because it's really not knotted. It's just like a little mini skein for you to get started with. And if you unwind it, which is, again, it's not knotted, I'm just untwisting it a little bit. I'm just pulling on it. But you can already see here the end of that little bunch. And this is where I'm going to start my crochet project on this end. And I'll work through this little bird's nest here. It's not a big deal. Sometimes the clump is smaller. Sometimes, like I said, you could get real lucky and just grab this. But the difference is this is not twisted around the end of your skein, so it's not really that much of a problem. So I hope that helps. I hope that answers some questions. As I said, I'm not really an expert, but this works for me. Have a great day. Bye-bye.